As the coronavirus pandemic rages on, we want to take a moment to tell you about some of the remarkable people we've lost. Some were known to the world, others only to their loved ones, but each and every one will never be forgotten. Here are just some of the many lives to remember.
With his distinctive beard, Andrew Jack stood out even in small roles.
Maybe the planet.
In a pair of Star Wars movies. But in the film world, he was famous as a dialect coach. He worked on some 80 pictures and helped create the Middle-earth accents in the Lord of the Rings series.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered.
Andrew Jack was 76.
3 minutes, 19 seconds, and 1 nanosecond.
Chef Floyd Cardoz won the 3rd season of Bravo's Top Chef Masters. But growing up in India, Cardoz dreamed of being a biochemist, he said on CBS This Morning Saturday in 2017.
And then I started cooking and realized that I was really good at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm really good at this. Maybe I should stay in this.
His New York restaurant Tabla, opened in 1998, would reinvent Indian cuisine. Floyd Cardoz was 59. Dominican Jenny Polanco was a pioneering fashion designer whose work was showcased in Paris, New York, and Miami. She described her style as a dialogue between classic avant-garde and the Caribbean. Jenny Polanco was 62. Alan Merrill co-wrote the classic song, I Love Rock and Roll. Born Alan Sachs in the Bronx, in the 70s he formed a glam band, The Arrows, in London. That's where Joan Jett saw him perform I Love Rock and Roll, the song she'd take to #1 in 1982. Alan Merrill was 69. Manu Dibango scored an international smash in 1972 with Soul Makossa, blending jazz, funk, and music from his native Cameroon. The jazz giant nicknamed Happy Groove died in France. Manu Dibango was 86. Bill Helmreich was a professor of sociology at City College in New York, who gained notoriety walking almost every block of the Big Apple.
What did it add up to in the end?
6,048 miles.
His book, The New York Nobody Knows, became a bestseller. On CBS Sunday Morning in 2016, he summed up the city.
It's the greatest outdoor museum in the world.
Bill Helmreich was 74.
There's no place in the world like Detroit. It's the most authentic city in America, and I'll challenge anybody on that.
Marlo Stoudemire was a tireless cheerleader for the Motor City, a business consultant who championed young black professionals he called his young lions. Marlo, a friend said, was the type of man who could see you before you saw yourself. He leaves his wife Valencia, who he met in 9th grade biology, and their 2 kids. Marlo Stoudemire was 43. Sundee Rutter was a hero to her 6 kids in Everett, Washington. After her husband died in 2012, Sundee went to college, kept a job, and still ferried her children to sporting events and on special trips. Diagnosed with breast cancer last year, she battled through, but couldn't beat the coronavirus. She was a light, her oldest daughter Alexis says. Sundee Rutter was 42. Jasmine Dixon, known for her huge smile, worked at the Red Cross in St. Louis, but wanted to open a baking business. In February, when some family members couldn't make her birthday party, she drove around delivering cake to them. Last month, Jasmine Dixon became the first person in St. Louis to die of coronavirus. She was 31.
So many remarkable folks we've already lost to this virus. We will continue to pay tribute to them here and on social media, Gail.
That's why, Anthony, you hear the numbers and you hear the statistics, and behind every single statistic is a person who was loved, who was giving love and receiving love. It just shows you, once again, this coronavirus does not discriminate. It is an equal opportunity heartbreaker That was tough, but I'm so glad you did it. It's so important to put a human face on what is happening to all of us.
Yeah, Gail, I totally agree. And of course, I also think of our colleague Maria Mercader and all of this. The mind reels at the idea of all these different people born in different years, in different places, living different lives, and they all collide with this same terrible virus. And you put it rightly. No one is immune. It does not discriminate, Anthony.
Right.